Into another edition of Clout Demonz. I'm Bree, back for another week. We also have Jamil, TJ, and Ron, and of course Stewie. So we got a good bit to cover this weekend. It was a pretty busy weekend, especially for some recent LSU graduates. We had a lot of over 4,000 graduates this weekend, and I think LSU said that's the most they've ever had in LSU history. So big congrats to any LSU Tigers that graduated over the weekend. So I know TJ, you hosted a few parties this weekend. How did all that go?
Yeah, this weekend was pretty successful. You know, we was at Dead Poet each and every Friday where you can find me. It was really good vibes, and all the LSU graduates looked good. You know, we had the ladies, we had all the Greece and PHC organizations out, so it was really good. Last night, everybody went crazy. You know, a lot of people graduated. You know, their families was in town, so it was a good weekend. I heard Tigerland was really fun last night, and Fred's was fun on Friday night. So I didn't go to those events, but shoot, what about y'all? What y'all do this weekend?
Shoot, I was chilling.
I stayed in my house.
I was in Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
You know, even though they lost, but
I was at a wedding.
The Mavericks,
shout out to my boy Bo.
The Mavericks not losing right now though. It's 42-43 then. So
go big 2-4.
We'll get to some NBA in a little minute, but LSU LSU baseball had a really big weekend. 2021 they got swept by Vanderbilt, but they went out to Nashville this weekend and they brought the brooms. They had a really amazing game yesterday. They were down 6-0, 6-1, and they came back and won 21-9. So Dylan Cruz and Braden Jobert, they had really big weekends. Braden Jobert's grand slam on Saturday. Sorry, really big weekend. What do you guys see from them?
Braden Jobert did have a great weekend. I saw that he had like the school record now for 9 RBIs. So
yeah, I think over the whole weekend they had 11 home run and I think 41 RBI, which was huge for them.
Yeah, I'm not mad at the performance. Like I said, I preach consistency when it comes to all our programs, but this year specific with LSU baseball, that's what I'd like to see from them. But I think that it's no better time than to see what we're seeing, like active on defense, active offensively, getting the bats moving, scoring. They look good this weekend, so it's like hopefully this is like I say, that momentum booster, what the team needed, as we go into the postseason and get started with the SEC, because I'm excited.
And this is really huge. We knew this was a huge series coming in, and just for them to go in and be able to clinch the 4th seed in the SEC tournament and just make it so much easier. And, are we hosting now? Do we have a host for the regional?
I think we have a good shot at it. I'm not exactly sure yet.
I think it depends.
Yeah, we're definitely number 4 seed, but I think it depended on if Auburn won or lost.
Yeah, I know they were losing when we were winning. So,
but yeah, I think the biggest problem for this team that we've kind of seen all season is consistency. They'll sweep one weekend, they'll get swept the next, they'll lose a series, they'll win a series. The consistency hasn't really been there all season, but the time is now. The time to pick things up and, to get better offensively, to definitely get those improvements in defensively in order to make it, past regionals onto a super regional and then on to Omaha is very crucial right now. And I think Jay Johnson knows that, and so does that team. I mean, Jay Johnson has had his fair share in College World Series, so I guess he wants to bring them there in his first time as head coach at LSU. But consistency is what's going to get them there. You can't keep messing up one game and then doing good the next. Like, you have to have that, I don't know, a different adjective other than, consistency. But they're going on really strong, and I think this momentum will help them going into the SEC tournament and then going into regional. But they did not have a regional in Baton Rouge last year. They went to Eugene, but hopefully they'll get a regional back in Baton Rouge. And, home field advantage definitely will help them, packing the box with, thousands of Tiger fans will definitely put them at an advantage regional-wise. But, I think they had a very successful weekend in Nashville, and Vanderbilt's always been Vanderbilt.
Right.
When it comes to baseball.
Vanderbilt.
Yeah, the Vandy boys have always been, those guys. But LSU shut them down this weekend. So that was a big series that they needed to win, especially the last one of the regular season. They finished the regular season strong, how they should have. And now going into postseason play with the SEC tournament, I'm assuming they get a bye.
They do.
They get a bye in the first round of the tournament. So that'll give them a leg up. And, SEC tournament can really, it's anybody's game. Like, you can have the number one team in the SEC go down in game one or go down in the first game that they play. And it could be two teams that you'd never even suspected to be in the SEC championship that are. And it's really up to how they perform whenever they take the diamond in Hoover. But LSU softball also started their postseason this weekend. They went to Tempe, Arizona for the Arizona Regional, and unfortunately, their season did end. They lost in game one on Friday, and then they also lost in game two, 3-2 loss against California State Fullerton. So, unfortunately, their season's over, but they did have a pretty good season. Not as good as they have had in the past. Unfortunately, they couldn't make it to a Super or Women's College World Series, but they played to the best, and I think Beth Torina has a program that she's been running for so long that, this season isn't going to define LSU softball as a program, and I think they're going to continue to grow. They have really great people on that team, especially like those freshmen that came in this year. So things are looking up for next season for LSU softball, but it is unfortunate that their season did end so prematurely.
Yeah, I agree. It's unfortunate that the team lost. And, it wasn't the outcome that we had expected or wanted from our softball team this season. But what I will say is that, you have to be mindful that they're still student athletes at the end of the day, and they've put hours and hours and hours of dedication and time and commitment, and the coaching staff as well, to the program. And so to see some of the fans, on the social media posts, not speaking so highly of our student athletes in our program was kind of, disgraceful in a way, and, not what you would expect from the program. There's years that there's going to be ups and downs with any sports team, with any program, with any university, professional to little kids to high school, whatever the case may be. So, I just want, people to be mindful of the fact that they're still humans at the end of the day. They've worked really hard. They rep the school and they represent our university every time they go out with, the utmost class of play for LSU. So it wasn't the outcome we wanted as fans or whatnot, but it was still a successful season. They have a lot of young talent. And, it'll be interesting to see what girls do decide to come back and use their last years of eligibility or whatnot. But they still have a bright future, and Coach Beth is still doing a great job with our program.
I also, they competed in the SEC softball tournament during finals week. And, their finals had to get pushed all over the place. They still had to study. Like, they're student athletes.
Yeah.
They still have classes. They still have finals they need to take. I'd imagine that adds to the stress and adds to the pressure for them to be able to perform not only on the field, but also, you're thinking in the back of your head about your academics, because a lot of these athletes are working towards a degree and towards a degree that they can use in their future. And they're playing softball. They're trying to do the best that they can and win a championship and make it to, the next level. But they're also trying to graduate. And it's hard to study for finals and, figuring out what you're going to do in your game. And, you get upset whenever you don't win. They got knocked out in the first round of the SEC tournament, which is unfortunate. And they had to come back to Baton Rouge and take finals. So I'd imagine that stress is a lot on a student athlete. But I feel like, after you've done it so many times, it should get easier in theory. You get used to it, but it doesn't. Like, these classes are not getting any easier, especially if you're majoring in something that's like pretty hard.
Science.
Any sciences, any STEMs, engineering, like anything like that is, I would imagine, pretty hard for any student, but let alone a student athlete who has already so much on their plate. But they had a great season and only growing stronger from here. I assume Beth Torina has been here long enough to know what a great team needs and the all the factors that go in, to being a great team. But baseball is moving on. Their SEC tournament in Hoover is coming up, and then after that, regionals, then hopefully supers, and then, College World Series in Omaha in June. Going on to some LSU football. LSU first game of the season, September 4th in, I was about to say Mercedes-Benz Superdome, Caesars Superdome at 6:30 p.m. in New Orleans. LSU is no stranger to the Superdome or New Orleans. How are you guys feeling about first game? Home field advantage?
I'm very excited. I feel like it's giving, it could be a fairy tale, it's kind of still too true to believe, or just kind of how the way some of the pieces have played out. But I'm excited that we have a new culture and what's like the anticipation in the season. I'm excited to see that we have the Brian Kelly era. We got the transfers. We have John Emery coming back. We have just so many, great pieces and things happening that we hope will lead to the success that we want. So I'm excited. I feel like there's no better way, no better place. Forget going to California and playing UCLA. Forget going to Texas and playing in Houston. Like, there's nothing better than being in Louisiana. What we have going on with our NFL team, well, y'all's NFL team.
You said it right. You said it right.
Y'all's
Our
NFL team, y'all's NBA team,
Right.
the Louisiana way. But just everything that's going on, I'm excited. All the students. It's gonna feel like 2019 national championship.
Last time the
we
LSU
were
was in
there.
the Superdome was national championship,
And it's like every time we
insane.
go to the Superdome or something in the football season is at the Superdome, like
The energy's gonna be there.
it's just bound to be a good season. So it's like I'm very excited to see, how it looks. and how it
We
plays out.
want some of the viewers to let us know in the chat if you have any good memories from the Superdome, maybe good memories from watching LSU play in the Superdome, national championship, or previous years or anything like that. Let us know in the chat. We'll get to some of your memories or your questions or anything like that. But a big thing in college football this past week, the jabs heard around the world. Jordy went on about this for 30 minutes, maybe a little more. An hour earlier this week about this, and this was something that I was really excited to talk about with you guys. Nick Saban and Jimbo Fisher. Nick Saban going at him, calling him out by name.
The girls was fighting.
The girls were fighting.
They was
and it
tussling
they
for
was-
real. They got took it.
And
It was smoke for real.
it was smoke,
More
and
smoke
Jimbo
is.
wanted all the smoke Nick Saban had because it was pretty insane. I mean, you called him out by name, saying that he bought all of his players. I mean,
He called him a narcissist.
well, Jimbo called him Saban a narcissist.
Yeah.
I'ma just say my little thought piece on it. Credit to Nick Saban for holding accountability as for coming out later on and saying, I shouldn't have single-handedly called anybody out. Like, I feel like what he was trying to say got taken out of context the moment he started name dropping or hinting at a specific program.
Mm-hmm.
As for what he was trying to communicate was how name, image, and likeness, like, to me, it came off as he accepted the reality of what name, image, and likeness is and how it's changed the game of recruiting. But unfortunately, to a team that he lost to last season and a former head coach of his, like, when you look at the whole situation, it looks as though he was taking a shot. But we've talked about it several times on the show that, it's the truth at the end of the day. These players are now starting to make decisions based on NIL deals, what school is going to throw you the most money, I think I saw a dude had a contract with Lamborghini. Like, at this point,
Imagine being 18 years old having a contract with.
at this point, what Nick Saban is saying is true. Not saying that he hasn't done it in the past or whatever, but all them coaches probably were doing it in the past. But now what he is saying is that with NIL, that prospective student athletes are making decisions and choices respectfully. Why would I go somewhere if they're offering me $100,000 and 2 NIL deals when I could go somewhere that's offering me 5 NIL deals and $1 million? Like, to any 17, 18-year-old kid, $500,000 from one company sounds like absurd, and you're all in. So it's like, I understood what Saban was saying. I do think ethically it wasn't right for neither coach. The response by Jimbo, just out of respect. I feel like Nick Saban and Jimbo had a friendship or whatever you want to call it at one point, and they worked for each other. And then, to just call jabs and call him a narcissist and, things like that, that's just not professional. But hey, it's college football. It's like, we not going to be soft. If you got something to say it with your chest. But I'm glad they on the schedule to play this year, and October 8th, it's going to go down.
No,
Right.
I think neither Jimbo or Saban were wrong in what they said, because from what I took of what Saban was saying, it was like, this is what A&M did to get the number 1 recruiting class of 2022. Like, he got them all these NIL deals.
But did he lie, though?
No, he didn't.
No,
He did not lie.
I mean, have y'all seen the graphic of like the classes that Texas A&M had before NIL?
Yeah,
It was like-
night and day.
It was like number
I'm
10
telling you
class,
right now,
number 12
College
class.
Station is absolutely like pitiful. Like, it's boring.
It's not a
like,
fun college
It's nothing
town.
but grass fields everywhere in Cows Field Stadium. Like, it's. I don't know how else you recruited them
It's a
to
cult.
the magnitude of
It's
the
a cult.
names that are on that
It's like
roster.
you
They got the
can't-
number 1 wide receiver.
Yeah,
I mean, five
you're
star,
Yeah.
like every single.
You're not
person.
getting all these 5 stars that have offers from all these places, like, Bama, LSU, Florida, like all these amazing places. Georgia just won a national championship. Like all these different programs that have ingrained that they are a championship program, and they have proven it time and time again with national championships, draft picks, this, that, and the third, and then just get them to go to middle of nowhere College Station. There's something more behind that, and it's not wrong. I mean, it's legal, and there's little restrictions on what you can do with that in NIL. So Jimbo Fisher did it, and is he wrong? No, it's legal, and that's what I took out of what Saban was saying. And he was like, in order for Alabama to get to the number 1 recruiting class, they have to catch up with these NIL deals. They have to be able to give that same energy that these other schools are getting, and that's the changes that are coming with college football and college athletics in general. If you want to get the best, you got to have the money to back it up, because other than that, you're not. But Jimbo's reaction is what heated it all up even more, because a lot of what he said came out of pure anger and just being so pissed off at what Saban said that, I think, like, he called him a narcissist, he called him this, he called him that, but it also kind of opened up a lot of people's eyes. He was like, look at all the stuff, dive in and see what Nick Saban has been doing all these years, and you'll find out he's not who you think he is.
Didn't Deion Sanders jump into?
Yeah.
He said something, but it wasn't as extreme.
But for Jimbo to come out and say that, like, he went and learned from people like Bobby Bowden. Bobby Bowden was giving out free tennis shoes at Florida State in the 90s.
Yeah.
Free Shoes University. Like, so you can't
Yeah.
this stuff has been going on since before we were
Exactly.
even born. So it for them both to be going at it like this about shit that's been going on in college football
For 30 years.
forever,
Right.
it's like, why? Like, why are we going at it now? But Nick was just mad because he got beat.
I think it's
Exactly.
making
And
it more
he beat him in the
competitive.
game, and then he
And
beat him
beat
at
him.
his own game in recruiting. So it's like, all right, now I gotta say something, and I'm
not
gonna out
gonna-
you.
I'm not gonna lie. I still got my money on Nick though.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
like that game now is
I'll
so
never
s-
bet against
like,
Nick Saban.
Granted,
Look.
the game already was gonna be hype because it's gonna be a rematch, blah blah blah. Then you add this, like, Nick's gonna have his boys ready regardless of if they're a first year player, if they was in the top recruiting class, the number 2 recruiting class, or if they've been there for 5 years. Alabama's gonna come ready to play. They rarely ever aren't on their P's and Q's.
Right.
I'm skeptical about Texas A&M. Half the people on their 25-man recruiting roster aren't gonna play this year. Like, there's people still that they've been there that are been recruited, that's, transfers, other things. Like, some recruits don't see the field for real until their second, third year. So some of those guys aren't even gonna see the field. So I feel like, knowing Nick Saban, his mentality, like, now he done talked all this mess. I know on Sunday, Monday, or whenever they start in their summer camp, it's going to be like, look, if no date on the schedule is important, forget LSU, forget this one, that one, and the third. On October 8th, we are putting our foot in their throats, and that's what my mindset would be.
And I think Jimbo was really trying to get a rouse out of his team more than
Oh,
like
yeah.
whatever, like, for him to call a press conference, because Nick Saban did the thing that was wrong. Like, he outed somebody in the game, really. Like, it's like the biggest drug to, tell them on the other biggest drug, like, oh, he sells drugs. Oh, okay, he sells drugs too, but he sells drugs better than me, so I'm telling on him. So it's like, it's that type of thing.
No fact.
And
But
it's just crazy
It's
that these
really-
two men are going at it.
It's really
like this.
been no secret, and I saw so many people saying, like, Nick Saban's been paying players under the table for so many. Every major college football program has been paying players under the table for decades. It's not a secret. Like, and they try to keep it a secret, but I personally don't think it's a secret at all. Like, I've known that for there's like, how do you think half the team has Hellcats? They don't just come out of nowhere. They didn't have Hellcats before they got to that program.
Right.
They got, I mean, it's always been a thing, but now it's legal. And it's about learning the game. It's about learning how to navigate this new world, this new NIL world that no one is really accustomed to. I mean, Nick Saban's 70 years old. He's been a college coach for long before we were born, any of us were born. So trying to navigate a whole new world and something that he's not accustomed to publicly is something that he has to adjust to, and he has to adjust his program to. But and when it comes down to October 8th, I'm not betting against Nick Saban. I've done that too many times, and I'm not betting against Nick Saban. As much as you, especially LSU fans, they love to hate Nick Saban. Everyone loves to hate Alabama. Everybody loves to hate Nick Saban. But the proof is in the pudding. Look how many people he had drafted. Look how many championships he's won. Look at the program he is. But the man has a statue in Tuscaloosa.
And he's still coaching.
Yeah, he's still coaching.
He has a statue in Tuscaloosa.
He has his own Benz model also.
That's true, he does.
The Nick Saban Benz.
like
with a
he
life.
is
filthy.
He is probably like the most recognizable face in college athletics.
Right.
You know, and you can't, you know, you got to respect that.
You can't discredit
You can't
it.
discredit that at all because he's put that work in for so many decades, and he's gotten Alabama to where they are now. When you think of college football, Alabama is one of the first schools you think of.
Period.
If not the first. You know, like as much as, you know, LSU-Alabama rivalry, yada, 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 Alabama's still Alabama, and it wouldn't be where it is now without Nick Saban. But Nick Saban got to do what he got to do, and if he needs to step it up in NIL deals to build back his recruiting, which is what he's known for, then that's what Nick Saban has to do. And he got to learn that now rather than later before he starts losing recruits to more schools, schools like A&M and stuff. Now, do I think A&M will finally win a national championship? No.
No.
Not at all.
But they're definitely doing their thing with NIL. They're definitely
8-4,
making things way more competitive.
8-4,
That's what you're saying, 8-4?
8-4.
Respect.
Jimbo has the same record as Kevin Sumner.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same record. Like,
Yeah.
A&M hasn't done anything special
At
since
all.
Jimbo's been the coach. And so I have no faith in them, like, even with the big recruits. He hasn't shown he could develop regular players.
Yeah.
So how can he show he could develop elite players?
Yeah.
Like, honestly.
If he does.
Yeah. So.
I don't know. I think it'll be interesting to see, you know, just how it all unfolds with, you know, A&M season in general. But also on October 8th, I think that's going to be a sellout game. I think people who aren't even A&M fans or Bama fans are going to go to that game.
If we didn't play at home against Tennessee that game, I'd go to the Bama game.
I'm not going to lie. I might go to that game over.
No, seriously,
Yeah.
I'd rather see Bama and A&M more
Where's
than
it at?
LSU
College
Tennessee.
Station or it's in
It's in
It's
Tuscaloosa.
in
Tuscaloosa.
Tuscaloosa.
If it was a
yeah.
College Station, I'd have
Look,
to make
I'm not no Bama fan, but Tuscaloosa is a nice town.
that. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Okay.
No, I've been.
It's a good
nice
weekend.
town.
It's a good weekend.
It's a good
I'll
weekend.
take a trip to Tuscaloosa. I ain't lying.
I mean, the drive is hell, but
It's
I mean,
not. It's
How
5
far
hours.
is it? Oh, 5.
5 hours. Yeah.
4.5
bad.
if you know how to
They
really
got this
drive.
one really good Mexican restaurant. I can't think of the name of it, but it's so good. So I would love to go there again.
Let's make the trip.
Let's make the trip. I mean, can we do that? Okay, I'd want to do that. Anyways, Jordan Addison signed with USC and
What you call it that?
what's his name?
Lincoln Riley.
Lincoln Riley.
Riley.
Why? I don't know why I want to say Brian Kelly. Not Brian Kelly.
Brian
Lincoln
Kelly.
Riley.
They don't
Hey,
even
you-
look alike.
No, they don't look alike, but I don't know. I guess like
Oh.
the names, like the K sound, you know?
No, I don't know.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah,
I don't know. My brain's all over the place.
Yeah. Tough.
With Lincoln Riley and USC over what a
LinkNet.com.
$3 million NIL deal.
Yeah, $3 million.
So
$3 million in a house, I think.
And a
LA.
house?
Or like $3 million in somewhere to live. I'm sure. Like
Jesus.
they found somewhere for him to live in LA. I mean,
living in LA is not
yeah.
cheap.
I mean, Caleb Williams signed to USC and got a Beats deal like the week after. So I mean, he living life. And then this man got $3 million. So
I mean,
yeah,
I know-
USC got bread to spend.
I know Jimbo is doing his whole #1 recruiting class of the year and everything, but if I was a player, I'm going to USC.
Yeah,
I'm going to get a house.
But it's like, all right, go live in LA and like it's cool, like it's nice or whatever like that. Have the USC lifestyle. You might make the playoff every year, but you still got to go see Nick Saban and Bama every year. And when you see them, they about to stump y'all shit in and go home. Right? And like, wow, all right, so we just made it to college football playoff every year. Just
but I got a house though.
Right? But I got a house. But I got a house in Cali.
I probably got a car.
I drive a Lamb, and I deal with beats. So shit, I guess
I'm chilling.
So,
but I think and this is something I've tried to like wrap my head around and understand. Ever since NIL has become a thing, I mean, obviously NIL is a part of recruiting now. It's a part of what school is going to give me the best money. But are these coaches, especially these big NIL coaches, actually using the recruiting tactic of I can make sure you're getting the best education. I can make sure that you're developing as a player and as a man. You're going to come to that Deion Sanders said, he said, you're going to come to me 18 years old as a boy, and you're going to leave as a man. Are major college football coaches still using those tactics, I think they should be using? I'm going to get you in the league. I'm going to get you to be a first round draft pick. I'm going to build you up as a player and as a person to be able to get to the next level. Other than just money. Was that thunder?
Yeah,
that was
lightning.
That just shook the whole building.
Yeah.
I thought that was like inside the building.
Yeah, I didn't.
I
really
dropped.
didn't know what that was. Wow.
Or a gunshot.
Hey, chill.
We are in Baton Rouge, so
Exactly that. Rat.
anyways, but like our coaches, still using the same recruiting tactics that they're going to help these players be better players and be better men. Or is their main recruiting tactic just I'm going to get you paid? Because in my opinion, that's kind of taken out the feel of what college football should be. I like watching college sports better than I like watching professional sports because I feel like they have more to prove. They have more, to lose. They got to make it to the league. So they got to show out more than guys who are already in the league. And if you're getting paid already, I mean, like I talked to Jordy about this, it's a semi-pro. Like you're in the G League before you get to the NFL, So I hope that college coaches would still use, those recruiting ethics,
I feel like a
ethics,
handful
but
probably still do, but this is just how it is. Only a few probably still do.
I mean, when you talk about like Nick Saban has that like enough like cachet to where he could be like, all right, I've graduated this amount of players and I've also sent this amount of players to the league, and also every class that I signed, they also won a championship. So if you want to graduate, win a championship, and be great at the next level, come to Alabama. But like besides that, I mean, I like Deion kind of has that, like he can develop you and make sure you graduate and take care of you. So I could see how Deion could say that, but like Jimbo, I mean, I don't know what Texas A&M's graduation numbers look like. I don't know what they're doing over there, but I haven't seen him develop players and send them to the league and do those things that great coaches say. Even like Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart can do that too. Like he could say, all right, you're going to graduate, you're going to win an SEC championship, you're going to win a national championship, and you'll go to the NFL, be a first-round pick. So, I mean, when you see schools like Texas A&M who are using NIL as the first like recruiting tactic, that means that they don't have anything else to go to that would make players want to go to their school besides, okay, here's some money.
Do you think that's going to hurt players going forward? They're going to go into it thinking that all this sounds so good because I'm about to make all this money. But 3 years in, it's time to declare for the draft. And their agent's telling them, say, bro, you're not going to make it past, fifth round. Or you're not going to get drafted. You might have to sign as a free agent. You might want to reconsider declaring. Do you think that's going to come back and, like, bite them in 3 years after all of this is said and done?
Like, just that? Like, just them going through, like, going to the school and not
developing as a player.
Well,
and
I mean, some of them will realize, like, some of them will have to stick it through because at some point the rules going to change and they'll have to sit out a year anyway. But some of them, they'll probably transfer and end up in the transfer portal for 3 years, 4 years, because the transfer portal is still full. Yeah. Like it's like there's players fine in schools, like the top players, but there's still players that transfer from their school and they can't go back to their school, and they also don't have a new school to go to. So I mean, you'll see a lot of that too, and a lot of high school kids will be put in a bad spot because of this NIL thing, because you'll have a lot of older kids that been in the transfer portal, but they've played in college. So college coaches are like, all right, I could go get a college kid and have him, and he'll be on my roster, and he'll be older and seasoned.
Yeah. Speaking of the transfer portal, Joseph Evans joins Pig Cage at UTSA in San Antonio. What do you guys think about that?
I thought he was done playing football. I thought he had quit playing football.
Joseph Evans?
You just made me aware of it.
Yeah,
But
you just made me aware of it.
I think UTSA has a good program. I know a couple people who've coached there, who've actually played there as well, and it's a pretty good program. Frank Wilson, he did a good job while he was there in developing that program and creating a winning culture there academically and athletically. But yeah, I know a couple guys who had successful experiences there, and San Antonio is a pretty cool city. I'm from San Antonio, so shout out that 210.
Just 30 minutes ago.
Was very
Crescent City Sports, former LSU defensive lineman Joseph Evans transfers to UCSA.
cool.
Oh, yeah, joins Pig Cage over there. It's hot.
Good luck to them, yeah.
No, good luck. They both. I think Joseph Evans had a good season before his injury last year, and I mean I think Pig did well, especially in the Texas Bowl. It's unfortunate that they left, but they did the best thing for them and their family and their career. So, wish them all the best. And UTSA's kind of it's on the come up. They were doing well. Arch Manning, his 3 official visits: Texas, Bama, UGA. Where y'all think he's going?
He is going to Alabama.
He's going to Alabama.
Yep.
Going to
Yep.
Alabama.
I mean, and you seen he had the comments that he said Georgia was the best college town, which is cool. He got to
And
hang
that's
out.
such cap.
Yeah,
Athens is
yeah, it's
Yeah.
okay. But he got to, he got to hang out. He got to see the hedges. He got to do his thing. And Kirby sold him on another national championship. He could beat Saban, but Saban already probably got that little paper sign. You know how Saban does it.
Yeah.
OG.
Yeah, you think about all the quarterbacks that Alabama has produced and has gone in the league, and it's kind of hard not to choose somewhere like Alabama.
And now that you say that, we had Aaron Murray on Friday,
We
and
sure
Aaron
did.
Murray did say that that's something that might hold Arch from going to UGA because UGA hasn't developed a quarterback. And you look at Alabama, they've developed Jalen
Plenty.
Hurts,
Tua.
Tua.
Mac Jones, Bryce Young's waiting in the wing. He'd probably be the number 1 pick. So it's they have that cachet. And Nick Saban is just Nick Saban. Everybody wants to play for Nick. I don't
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell Nick Saban no. But
know. TJ, you all right over there, bro?
you good?
Yeah,
It's hot
you
in here.
sure?
I'm not gonna lie. I
I
wore a
don't
hoodie
know.
for no reason.
I got the hoodie
That's
on.
why
I'm
I'm just
feeling
being
good.
still.
But yeah, I think Arch, he's talking all this good game to get people wondering.
Yeah.
He's saying well, I really like Athens. Athens is a great college town, and then you think about places like Ole Miss where his uncle played, and that all sounds good, keep it the family legacy and stuff like that. But I think whenever it comes down to it, Arch Manning is putting a Bama hat on his head.
What if he
He's
just surprises us and goes to Texas?
Bro.
I could see it.
Bro, if this man goes to Texas,
That would
I'm
be
gonna
a shock.
I'm gonna be hot. For
Texas?
for what though? I need to know why he would think about going to Texas. Out of all these 3 schools,
Why Texas?
Georgia makes sense because Georgia and Georgia also doesn't have great great receivers. They have good tight ends, but they don't have good receivers. So that might hold him back. And I just don't see him going to Texas. I would be
What if he
so
just-
mad.
I don't even know why
I can
Texas
see
is
it.
an option.
Texas.
Texas
Texas.
football is not bad.
Had
Horns
no players.
down.
Had no players.
I'm not
drafted.
gonna lie. I gotta put it up sometimes. I gotta put it. No.
Down forever.
My
Horns
dad
down
went
forever.
TT, so
Oh well, sorry,
No,
Dad.
sorry, Dad. Horns
Sorry,
down.
Dad.
no.
You went to LSU and 13.
Yeah, throw it
And
down.
I
Throw it
did.
down. For him.
Third
Throw it
and
down.
I'm
For
not
him.
gonna lie.
17 is all I have to say.
Ooh, look at her.
Horns
She's
down.
throwing
Only
the
for right
horns
now. Only
down.
No.
against LSU.
yeah.
Horns down forever.
Yeah, no, I'll never forget that Texas game,
That
and
was-
I will forever hate Texas for putting the LSU band in the nosebleeds.
No, hold on. It wasn't just the bands. It was me too. It was every LSU fan, unless they purchased the ticket through a third market. If you purchased the ticket through LSU, we were all in the 600s. And then we was on the 600 side, not the side that the sun comes down and you're shaded. We're on the side where it's beaming towards us and we're waiting on it to get covered. So we waited the whole game, and it was just so hot.
Yeah, and that game was in the middle of the day. It wasn't it was a night game. It was in September. That was just a hard game to sit through, I'd imagine, and you're all the way up there. I mean, I remember somebody saying, if Texas ever comes to Baton Rouge, we will put them in Port Allen. Like, put them across the bridge. Put them in Plaquemine. Put them in, I don't know, Mike the Tiger's cage, something like that. But that was just so disrespectful. And then they blew up Joe Burrow's jersey in a cannon.
That's crazy.
Hey, look, I knew after they blew Joe's jersey up, I knew he was about to go crazy because Joe is a menace. Like, really, really and truthfully, like, I don't know, like that. Like, the first time I saw Joe was against Miami, and I was like, bro, that's a smooth white dude, dog. That's a smooth dude. Like, he was just so smooth and calm, and like, whenever they blew that jersey up, I said, dog, he finna show his ass. Like,
no, and then whenever was it the fourth quarter, he was waving goodbye to the whole Texas fan base. I was like, Joe is really that guy. I think that whole game was like just.
It was intense.
It was intense, but it was Joe's game to show the entire country that Joe is that guy. And going into 2019, I think Joe was predicted to be like a 6th round draft pick, not even in the Heisman conversation. And then that game, especially 3rd and 17, Clyde's touchdown, like all the stuff that happened in that game. And then, Joe just being Joe, he proved to the entire country that Joe is that guy. Joe is Joe.
It was number 6 versus number 9, right? Like,
LSU.
Yeah, it was. We were 6, they were 9.
Yeah.
But I don't think like the win-loss margin wasn't what it ended up coming out to.
I mean, I say honestly, a couple of defensive plays made the difference for LSU in that game.
Yeah.
We had 2 crucial fourth down stops at the beginning of that game. In Texas was in their red zone, and we stopped them 2 times.
Texas running back dropped the ball,
wide open pass, and then we just had a good defensive stop.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get that. Honestly, that running back sold the game right there on that one play, because that changes, like, at the time of that play, that would have changed the whole trajectory of the game. And I done watched that game so many times, like, I'd be like, bro, there's no way you missed this little.
He really sold. Like, that's
I say the same thing when Tua fumbled like that Bama game. Like,
yeah, but that was on him. I'm not giving no sympathy. Y'all played him. Y'all just said he was good to go. He was good to go.
I hate when Bama fans use that excuse. Oh, Tua went down. Oh, Tua only played on one leg.
He finished the game.
Y'all should have put him in.
Yeah, if he was so hurt, why'd you put him in? Like, I don't like that excuse. Like, no, I heard Marcus Spears one time say, champions don't make excuses.
We beat you.
Just
let it be
fair
right.
and square. Like, I mean, granted, that game the win margin could have been a lot bigger. Mm-hmm. They didn't blow a 20-point lead at one point, but at the end of the day, LSU still walked off that field victorious. Tua or no Tua.
And we proved it with every team we beat. We proved it with every game, every single week in and week out. We earned it. I don't care what anybody says. As a program from day one, when Coach O did what he did over those course of those years, like, we worked for that. We earned it. And then when all the pieces clicked, they aligned, and can't nobody be mad at us. I think we did have the greatest football team ever
of all time,
ever. We've proved it with the draft picks. We still have guys who played and touched on the field that season, still getting drafted in the first round. Like, from crazy, top to bottom, 18 people getting drafted and leaving, and the coaching staff. Like, you just look at it from top to bottom, and there will never be another.
Yeah. Speaking of, I saw this picture on Twitter of all the first round draft picks this year, all in their jerseys on the field.
Ty was in it.
Huh?
Ty was in it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
I didn't see Stingley though.
Oh, well, I think Sting came back in town for his sister's graduation, but
okay.
also.
Was it like the rookies symposium?
It was only like certain rookies who got invited to like this Players Association thing.
Yeah.
So.
Chris Olave was there.
Yeah, Chris
Ty
Olave
was there.
Yeah.
Ty was there. He was in the picture.
Chris Olave wearing number 12.
Let me pull this thing out.
Yeah, I was about to ask you if you could find it.
I could do that for you.
Saints wide receiving group's gonna be lethal
all you gotta do
next
is ask.
season.
Fantastic.
Jarvis Landry, Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, Marquez Callaway,
Deontay Harris.
Deontay
Deontay
Harris.
Hardy. I don't know why he changed his name.
That's
He changed his name?
To Deontay Hardy. Because, like, the Saints media, like Amy just, like, they would, like, make a joke like Deontay Hardy, and he actually changed his name to Deontay Hardy.
Like legally?
Yes. like when the season start back on his jersey, it's gonna say Hardy.
Interesting.
Like, I don't know why he did that.
Anyways, yeah, I mean, Dennis Allen got the team whenever it was like so uncertain on what was going to happen, who was coming back. Michael Thomas wasn't a definite. Like, everything with the Saints, whenever Dennis Allen got the team as a head coach, was so up in the air and was like, the Saints might need a while before they're a good team again. But now, you're signing all these people free agents, and then you're bringing guys home like, Tyrann Mathieu and Jarvis Landry, like, now, and like all these other guys, and you draft Chris Olave and you draft another O-lineman, like all these guys that you're bringing in, give the Saints a good shot at having a really great season. And Jameis Winston is kind of decided, I guess, to be the starting quarterback. And
got that picture for you.
Oh, you got it? Put it up. Yeah, I saw a lot of people thinking that
Where's Chris Olave?
88 or is that? Yeah, 88. They thought that was Stingley because it looked like his hair. But when I zoomed it on, I was like, there's no way that's Stingley.
88. I'm trying to find this person.
It's right next to dude number 9 on the Seahawks. Right behind.
Yeah, I see.
Oh, boy.
For the what? The
Oh,
Broncos?
yeah.
Yeah, the Texans.
Yeah.
It, like, from afar.
From
it
a
kinda
little
looks
distance,
like,
you can see. No.
It looks like Stingley, but it's not.
That's Mechie from Alabama.
That's John
That's
Mechie.
John
Yeah, that's
Mechie from
Mechie, though.
Alabama.
Put that picture back up.
Oh, sorry. Got you.
I saw some people saying, why is Chris Olave all the way in the back? But he is all the way in the back. Wearing number
should've
12.
Wearing number 12. He's in a black jersey. See,
Yeah.
I thought he was in a white jersey.
Because we don't care about the Saints.
Bro, chill out. Hey,
You're
Y'all
the
see-
only one.
Do y'all
here.
see they got 2
He's not the only
Falcons people on the front?
When the
I'm
last
not
ti-
even a fan, but do y'all see that they just don't care simply about the Saints?
Wait, who is that? Drake London and Desmond Ridder?
Yeah.
I don't know. Shoot, I'm not no Falcons fan.
Oh, you're not a Falcons fan.
You're
I'm
not
not
a
no
Shouting out
Falcons
your
fan.
team
I'm
over
just
there.
saying.
Look at you.
Y'all
Yeah.
don't see nobody else with
All right.
2.
Yeah, it sounds good. All right, bro. They had two.
I
They
saw
had 2
Dallas in
early
there.
round draft picks though. You saw Dallas in
I
there.
think I did.
Stop
I
living
don't
in
see
the
no
90s.
Cowboys.
Stop
Don't
living
do
in the
that.
90s, Jamil.
Anyways.
We did have
Irrelevant.
a question in the chat. It's pretty good. What's y'all's ranking of the SEC West quarterbacks if Max Johnson starts at A&M, if Miles Brennan starts at LSU, and if Calzada starts at Auburn?
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young.
It's kind of hard not to put him first.
You say if Miles Brennan
If-
start.
That's the
This is a
thing that we
tricky
don't.
question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Because-
go Bryce Young. Max is actually a good quarterback. I'm gonna just let y'all know.
He
He
is.
just
He
was in a
is.
shitty situation last year
Yeah.
with a coach who meddled in the offense that shouldn't have meddled in the offense.
agreed.
I'm not putting Max at second. I'm just saying Max is a good quarterback. All right, Bryce Young. Miles, whatever LSU
Miles
quarterback,
will be-
they might be second.
second or third.
Yeah, and then it goes Max, Calzada. Who else is in the
And
West?
then, yeah, the other ones are really
who's
irrelevant.
Arkansas's quarterback? Is KJ
No,
Jefferson
it's
still
Lucas
at
Coley.
KJ Jefferson's not still at
Oh.
Arkansas? If KJ
No,
Jefferson's still at
it may
Arkansas,
be
he's
him.
like number 3.
Yeah. I would
Like he
put
might
KJ
be
Jefferson.
he might be
KJ Jefferson had a hell of a year
right. He
last
might be
year.
like 2 after Bryce Young.
He may be Bryce
Because
it may
he's
be
like-
Bryce Young, KJ, then
Then
Max,
Max,
then
then
Miles, then
Calzada,
Yeah.
and then I don't even know who the other quarterbacks in this league are.
Yeah.
Well, it's just
honestly.
that SEC West, right?
SEC
Yeah,
West.
but
Yeah.
Mizzou can tell you.
Ole Miss's quarterbacks aren't good. Like I watched their spring game and they struggled. So I don't think Ole Miss is.
That's why they need Archie.
Yeah, but like Lane is Lane. Like he'll have a good offense. It's just that was spring, and I think both of those dudes were like really new. So
Yeah. That question's kind of interesting.
That is.
Asking, Miles Brennan. I'm still unsure, and honestly, I think it's because we have not seen Miles Brennan play to his fullest
Potential.
potential in a very long time. Going on 2 years since Miles has, actually played. So I don't know if he'll get that starting job, but it'll be interesting to see. But he is in his 6th year.
Man, look.
He's been here a long time.
Dude got his doctorates at LSU. He got his doctorates in football and whatever else degree he got. Like I hope he gets the job. But then I mean,
he still has another year of eligibility.
Man,
like
at that point,
He
it's
does.
just
look at this point.
He has another year.
At
of
this point,
eligibility.
I'm not even. It's good. I'm gonna just let him
Yeah.
live, bro. Let him do his thing. For his sake, I just hope he stays healthy and gets his chance and gets his fair shake at it. And if he gets a job, he might do something. He might shock the world. You know, I mean, my whole thing with Miles is he's not mobile. And like,
Exactly.
and in this game, like when you got Will Anderson rushing at you, bro, like it's not gonna be stand in the pocket and throw the ball. Stand in the pocket 5 seconds or 3 seconds to throw the ball. Like it's gonna be
No
catch
matter
the
how
ball,
good your O-line
right,
is.
catch the ball, throw the ball, or like catch it and
Make a move.
make a
and
move
go.
and then throw or then run. Like
RPO.
it's exactly. So it's like that's my whole strain on saying Miles should be the starter because Garrett and Jaden give you that element to the game, and it's just like he's just been here so long. And he
I saw
hasn't.
Jaden move with his feet very well in
Yeah.
the spring game, and then I saw Garrett just dropping dime after dime
Exactly.
after dime. And I feel like Garrett having that off season and that summer to like develop more as a quarterback, and look, I've seen him work, and like Garrett's a good quarterback, and I think if no matter who gets the job, it's good for fans to feel secure that if something were to happen, or if someone's not performing to the best of their ability, you have another option that you can rely on to put in as a quarterback and actually perform. And you're not just like going to throw somebody off the bench and like just kind of hope for the best. Like you getting somebody in that knows the playbook. You're getting somebody in that knows how to pass, that knows how to move with their feet, that knows how to throw, that can make decisions on the field when they need to make decisions. So I think that'll help them having that quarterback room if they keep everyone. If no one enters that transfer portal, which I think is kind of inevitable for at least one of them to enter the portal.
I just hope it's not Garrett.
I hope so
That's
too.
the only one I don't want to lose. I mean,
know.
like
I don't want to lose Garrett. My heart's gonna break if we lose.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like
Say
he
right.
is-
Garrett has said though, Garrett was like, he grew up in Texas, but he was born in Lake Charles. He loves LSU. His whole family loves LSU, and this is his dream school. This is where he's wanted to go his whole life. So him not being able to play in the Texas Bowl for his eligibility and redshirt and this, that, and third did hurt him. But I don't think Garrett will unless it was his last option. Like unless he used all of his resources and everything that he possibly could use up in order to be able to stay at LSU. I think last resort is transferring, but I don't want it to come to that.
Hold up, Harry Balzac in the chat. His SEC West quarterback rankings was number 1 Bryce Young, 2 Will Rogers, which I don't know, 3 KJ Jefferson, 4 Max Johnson, 5 Miles Brennan, 6 Jackson Dart, 7 Zach Calzada.
How many schools are in the SEC West?
7. It's 14 teams in the SEC. 7 in the West, 7 in the East. Yeah.
I was thinking, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that was his name when I was reading his first question until you just said it out loud.
Yeah.
What's the name?
Harry Balzac.
I think I know who you are, Harry Balzac.
Oh, okay.
Hello, good friend.
Anyways.
Wait, I just got it. That's,
You just got it.
that's a great name.
Damn, bro, you late. ReliefMed.com.
That's how it be. That's how it be.
Anyways, we're going to go over to some LSU basketball. Another top recruit has not committed yet, but he's choosing between Georgia, LSU, Florida, and many other teams. Top 50 prospect, Riley, I'm going to butcher his name, Kugel?
Ooh, please don't.
I don't know if that's how to pronounce his name. If you want to pull that up.
Yeah, I'm about to pull it up. Gotcha.
He's going to announce his college decision on Instagram Live tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. It'll be 5 p.m. our time.
Okay.
Looking at on3.com, LSU doesn't seem like the biggest competition in his recruiting. Got 79.7% at going to Florida. He's 6'5", shooting guard, 175. He's from Florida. I mean, he looks good. His stats look good, but he has a lot of offers from Auburn, Houston, Florida Atlantic, Stetson, Florida, Miami, like a whole bunch of places. But, I mean, LSU is still on that list. It'd be another big get-up for Matt McMahon, who, again, like kind of like Dennis Allen and the Saints. He got this team. He had little to work with, and now he's built this team back up to actually be a contender next season. What do y'all think about how Matt McMahon has done so far?
He's done a terrific job. You said going from what this team was like a few months ago, where we didn't even know if we were going to have enough players on scholarship for a team, and to what we are now, getting future recruits, and with everything still hanging over our heads, it's just good to see.
Agreed. Matt McMahon has built something that I think would be really fun for people to see. I think, I was thinking whenever he first got hired and, everybody on the team into the transfer portal, I said this will be a long time before the PMAC is packed again, unless it's for women's basketball or gymnastics. It's going to be a while. But he's built a team. He's brought in some really powerful recruits. He's gotten in some guys, some transfers from Murray State and from other places. And, getting people like Adam Miller to come back to LSU is huge for them. We haven't been able to see Adam Miller play because he was injured, but
we know he's good.
We know he's good. Like, he's insane. I was talking to Noah a few weeks ago. He said he went to a practice and watched Adam Miller play before he got injured, and he said Adam Miller is insane. Like, he is so good. So getting him back and the other guys that came back too would be really helpful. And I think Matt McMahon is building a really good program for this team. Moving on, the Pelicans, they get the 8th pick in the draft with a trade with LA Lakers. You think they move it up or they keep it?
I think they keep it.
Why?
8's pretty good.
Yeah, 8 is pretty good, and this draft is loaded with a lot of talent.
Agreed.
And you can easily just get a wing that can defend, and that's really what the Pelicans need coming off the bench for Brandon Ingram.
They were looking to add a guard or a shooting guard for the depth. What do you think are some potential people that'll fit into that in this draft?
That dude from Arizona, Benedict Mathurin, I think.
That is a name. That is a name.
Benedict Mathurin, I think he would be really good at the 8th pick.
What do you guys think?
I'm not sure, honestly. I haven't.
Where do y'all think Tari Eason will go?
Whoever gets Tari Eason is gonna get a steal, but I'm not sure what system he's gonna fit into and what role he's gonna play when he gets drafted. But I feel like he's underrated, even though he was a lot of people were talking about him this year. I still feel like he was a little slept on.
Wouldn't it be crazy if he went to the Pelicans?
That'd be cool.
I was thinking that too. I just didn't want to say it. Tari Eason to the Pelicans, that'd be insane. New Orleans is taking over LSU, Saints getting
That would
LSU
be cool.
guys.
Finally.
Pelicans getting Tari Eason, that would be pretty cool. Speaking of Saints getting more LSU guys, I saw Darrell Williams took a trip to New Orleans this week. What do you think the likelihood of him coming to New Orleans would be?
Don't know.
Dude say we got to sign.
Y'all are
Gotta
hilarious.
sign.
I don't think so because they already have Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara.
Wait, that's true, but Mark
Daryl's
Ingram's still
comfortable
on the
in
Saints?
Kansas City.
Mark Ingram's back on the Saints?
Yeah.
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 Oh,
We traded for him last year.
yeah, but I didn't know he signed a multiple year deal.
He going to retire with his.
He's gonna
alright.
retire a Saint. Mark Ingram loves New Orleans.
I know.
Like,
he
I
loves Alvin Kamara too.
Boom and Zoom. Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
love them together. That's why I don't. think
Daryl
Darrell
just
Williams
enjoy
will
being in New Orleans. I would think he's from there type of
Mhm.
deal, his family's down there type of thing. But who am I?
Yeah. Who are you?
I feel like they should sign Darrell Williams just because Mark Ingram is a bit older, and Darrell Williams brings some more fresh legs behind Kamara.
sign. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, I mean, it would be a steal if the Saints did, yeah. So
It'd just be a really powerful offense for sure. Jameis Winston's gonna have a lot to choose from. A lot of weapons, receivers,
really hard for
and
him to
backs. Huh?
It's going to be really hard for him to fail.
Oh yeah, for sure. And a lot of people doubt, Jameis Winston and everything like that. But I think
Stephen A.
J Boo wins.
Stephen A. Oh, it's hard for me to agree with somebody like Stephen A. But
Why? Stephen
I
A
don't
is
know. He
always
just
right.
says a lot of dumb shit.
He does.
Stephen
he
A is
just
always
trying
right.
to get a reaction.
I know.
He does, and
He just be talking crazy. Hey, Stephen A. Stephen
I love when I bring
Stephen
up-
A. might be goated. I ain't even gonna
He
lie.
is goated.
Like,
He is.
like he is goated, but not y'all thinking he goated for his TV work. Yeah, he is, but I'm talking about some other stuff.
No, I know what
Wait.
you're talking about.
He's not. We talked about this the
Bro,
other day.
Stephen
No.
A. really goated, son. Like, just know Stephen A. goated,
What if it's not true?
bro. Look,
It's true.
stuff like that don't come around if it ain't true. Stephen A. goated,
Unless he made it up because he's Stephen A.
goated.
Wait, you talking about with Jalen Rose?
Yes. Bro.
Hey,
TJ, you don't. You,
We'll fill you
TJ,
in.
like
We'll fill you
I don't
in.
know. I don't know what you're talking about.
We'll fill you in.
Man,
My favorite
no.
thing is seeing Stephen A. and Marcus get into it. That's funny. That's always a great time. I brought Stephen A. up to Marcus one time in our interview, and that was hilarious. He was like, "Oh, Stephen A. says this about Alabama," and da da da. But no, I don't agree with barely anything Stephen A. says. My favorite thing is when Stephen A. is wrong, and he got that look on his face, like the whole national championship season for LSU, and anytime like when he was like, "There's no way that the air kicked on." Love that. It's hot in here. Whenever.
Free TJ. Free TJ from the shackles and the heat.
Yeah, I got my pants rolled
that
up.
boy said it's hot.
Free him.
Man.
I'm dripping sweat. Like,
Check my man out, bro.
Walk out
Air
of here
just
just look like he
kicked
went to the
on.
gym. Anyways, NBA playoffs. The Heat take a 2-1 lead without Jimmy in the second half. Celtics came out flat at home in Game 3. Started to turn around at the end, but it wasn't enough. Both Smart and Tatum go to the locker room with injuries, come back and finish. But what's going on in Celtics locker room?
I mean, really, I think the Heat, they really underestimated how good the Heat would play them and how good the Heat would match up against them. A few guys off the Heat, Max Struss and Gabe Vincent, they've been really good. And Victor Oladipo, too. He's really had a resurgence as of late. I thought that guy was washed up, done for, but nah, like, he's been playing some great defense. He had 2 good steals on Tatum late that really helped the Heat win the game. But I think the Celtics, I don't think they're going to get swept, though. I think they'll make it Game 6.
I say Bam is the key factor for sure for the Heat.
Yeah.
You know, when he's locked in and he's on point and he's in tune, they're a different ball club. But like you said, I don't think this is too far out of reach. I feel like the Celtics, honestly, the Heat are a great team, and that is to not be discredited. But I still do feel as though the Celtics do have the better team. They have the more talented team. Just looking at, like, even after, and the momentum too, like I mentioned it last week too, that the Heat, they kind of feel a little dead a little bit, as for more so like the energy and the livelihood of the Celtics. And like when Marcus Smart got hurt and then he went into the locker room, and then Jaylen Brown started taking over, and then Jason Tatum went down, and then like it was just the entire game, even though they didn't win, like the entire game, they were down 26 points, you know. Once Jimmy Butler went down, the Heat kind of started discombobulating. And meanwhile, even if somebody went down for the Celtics, there was somebody else on the back door, somebody else picking up the slack. The energy in the arena, just Marcus Smart, what he brings to the team, he's like really established himself in Boston. The fans love him. Like, he's embraced it there. So I want to see the Celtics, my bad. I want to see the Celtics be really successful, because I feel as though the young talent they have with Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, the veteran experience from Al Horford, some of the younger talent that they have, they really do have a championship caliber team. And I want to see Jason Tatum and, you know, Marcus Smart get that opportunity to play in the finals and, you know, show their skill set.
Warriors and the Mavs are playing right now. It's kind of a
3-0.
yeah,
3-0
kind of a
is
close
3-0.
game. 78
3-0 is 3-0.
It's 78
Look at her
to
face.
70 in the fourth.
Look at her face.
How are you doing, Jamil?
3-0. It's 3-0
I'm doing
is
all right
3-0.
because I feel like, I mean, I'm from Dallas.
Dallas just
Born and
can't get it
raised.
together.
Sweet.
At all.
I think they'll get it
Too
together.
much of a
Just
winning
not
city.
I mean, we've
Sweet.
seen Golden State blow some leads.
Sweet.
It's not enough for them. Like, Dallas doing all they can with Luka, but it's just
I
their team
honestly,
just not
Luka
enough.
is
realistically,
a dog.
I don't
Bro.
think that they're going to beat the Warriors. But if they do, I mean,
Look.
I think they could beat Boston or Miami,
Yeah.
but I don't think they can beat the
Yeah.
Warriors.
Warriors
Y'all
just a
made
bad matchup.
y'all made it this far with a dude wearing an offensive lineman number. He moves like an offensive lineman. Like he everything about Luka is offensive lineman. But then when he get that ball in his hand,
He's a slow LeBron.
Yeah, and it's like, wow, like he really he's an artist with the ball. Like it's crazy the stuff that he can do with a basketball.
He be cooking.
Playing at 5 miles an hour. Like these dudes are playing at 100 miles an hour, trying to do everything they can to get the ball from him.
The
and
style of play is just so different.
Right.
Like
you just don't see that.
I don't think it's gonna be a sweep, but it might be like
Sweet
4-1.
4-1, yeah. They'll
4-1.
get them one good little win at home.
Yeah.
If Dallas was to win, it'd have to go to 7 games. That's
Obviously.
the only way.
Oh, you're saying like for them to
I
win
mean,
the
yeah.
series?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought you were saying
They're not
like for
going
them
to win
win
4 games back to back to back to back
Yeah.
to back.
Absolutely
on the
not.
Warriors.
Like, that's-
Absolutely.
A lot of people would have to get
I
hurt.
mean, they had a lead.
I mean, it did happen. No one.
Look, but look,
It's
that was the
happened.
Warriors. That was different. And KD, and I don't even want to talk about it because my boy sold. I'm upset. I'm still upset about that.
LeBron James.
He ain't even make it.
Yeah, he didn't make it to playoffs.
Okay, but I'm
We're not
just
worried
saying
about
in
that.
reference to 3-1. My bad.
It can happen.
Shout out, Brown.
LeBron fans are crazy.
We love LeBron.
Realistically, I don't think it'll
LeBron
happen,
goated,
no.
bro. LeBron the goat. so it
LeBron
don't
fans
matter.
about as crazy as like Bama fans.
Facts.
No.
Facts.
No,
That's
no.
how Jordan fans are. The moment you tell a Jordan fan that Braun better, and Kobe fans,
Hey, look,
especially
but-
now that
Kobe
Kobe
fans
isn't here with us,
This
like
is
now
like
they
the-
just take it even more to like.
But like for me, like I'm a Kobe fan. But like for me, that's like the trifecta right there. Like MJ, Brown, Kobe.
I
like,
agree.
They the trifecta
I
of
agree.
The
basketball.
MJ's at the top of
Yeah.
the triangle.
No.
But like I've been doing my research on like older basketball and like Magic kind of up there for me. Like Magic really is like Magic is what Jordan like Magic was supposed to be what Jordan was pretty much. Like he was the face of the league
I
before
agree.
Jordan got there. Pretty like yeah. Jordan took his spot as the face of the league
Yeah.
because he.
One thing I wanted to talk about, Jamil and I were talking about before the show, the WNBA waiving some of their draft picks.
Yeah, didn't
Kayla
like
Pointer
that.
and Faustina Fua both got drafted to the Aces, and they both just got waived. And, you think about, WNBA, they don't have a G League like the NBA does. They don't have somewhere that they can go and develop and stuff and then get picked back up. Like, it just, maybe it's, salary cap, maybe it's, WNBA players don't make that much money. They're not making as much as LeBron or, anyone else that at that level. And like Simone Augustus is like a LeBron James of the WNBA, and she wasn't making that much. They'll make 6 figures, but they're not. Very few of them are getting over $1 million or a couple million. I think it's really unfortunate because Kayla Pointer put on such a good show for the years that she did spend at LSU, and so did Faustina Fua. And Kayla Pointer got drafted fairly high in the draft, and she got waived from the Aces, which I think is pretty sad. But I don't know what exactly caused that.
I think what makes it worse, though, is the fact that, like, even if another team wanted to pick them up, their rosters are pretty much already solidified. So it's like, it is what it is. And they don't have the same funding the NBA has, like, without a G League and stuff like that. So I think that, it really is unfortunate.
Women's sports professionally aren't as money-making as men's sports, as football, as baseball or basketball. There's a pro softball league, there's a pro basketball league for women, things like that, but they don't have the money. They don't have the viewership. And a lot of your money comes off viewership because of ads and commercials and stuff, and they don't have it like, every other
And they got to
major
play
team.
overseas and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think, ever since that NCAA scandal, March Madness during COVID year, women's basketball literally had a couple of weights in a corner while the men had a big old weight room in the bubble. That was a big thing, and I think that got a lot more attention on women's basketball and women's sports in general and got their viewership up, but it's still not enough. It's still not enough for these organizations to be able to pay the players that they draft, and then they have to waive them. You're riding this high when you get drafted that, you made it. You made it to the pros. You made it to the WNBA. You put in all this work at LSU under Kim Mulkey, under Nikki Fargas for all these years, and you've proven yourself. And you're a household name in your community. You can't be an LSU basketball fan without knowing who Kayla Pointer is. Right? And now you finally make it to the WNBA, something you've been working for your whole life, especially within the last 4 or 5 years. And you're riding this high, you're doing so well. You're about to play in your first WNBA game. You're so excited. You're getting to work with everyone. and then you get waived. So I'd imagine that's like beyond disappointing for Kayla or Foss or any other player that got drafted, because women's sports don't get enough attention that I believe that they should, and they don't get paid the same. They don't get that amount of viewership and stuff like that. I don't know if anybody's watched the WNBA, but it's pretty interesting to watch.
watching women's basketball personally.
To put it into perspective, the highest paid WNBA player, which is Diana Taurasi, she makes $222,000 a year, and the league minimum in the NFL is $610.
Mind y'all, there's like football coaches
Exactly.
who make that, and they're like quality control analysts.
Right.
NIL is getting college players paid more than professional women's basketball players.
And they haven't even played yet.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Jordan Addison signed a $3 million deal to go play at USC.
There's a kid in California with an $8 million NIL deal to Tennessee. Quarterback, 5-star.
He's going to Tennessee?
He's going to Tennessee. He committed. He's a high school junior right now.
He's a high school
He's going to be
junior.
a senior in the fall.
So he's getting this NIL money now?
He already signed the deal. I think he got like I want to say like $800,000 in like April. So yeah.
A high school junior is making more money off of NIL deals than a professional basketball player in the WNBA. The highest paid women's basketball player in the WNBA.
Not even like athletes. Just think about like people in everyday life. Like people like that work every day since they were 18 years old, and then now they're like 65, and they don't make that in a year.
Still yet
and
to see that.
you're right. They still have yet to see that type of money. And this kid is 16 with $800,000 in the bank, like just chilling, you know.
That's where I think NIL should have a lot more rules and limitations, like a cap, or, you know, at some point you should, like, you know, you're so young. He's never played a down of college football, and you're getting paid $800,000 at 16 years old.
That's crazy.
You give me $1,000 at 16 years old, I'm not gonna know what to do with myself. I mean, you're giving all of this to kids, essentially. I mean, what are you gonna do with that? Like, other than blow it? I hope that he has good people around him that are advising him, hey, don't spend this money like a dumbass.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, that's not always the case.
And like, I hate how people blame the kids for this. Like,
It's not their fault.
they get on the kids, and it's like, honestly, I'm gonna be real. Whatever school that threw me the money, I'm going there.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Like, and I mean, like, I love LSU. I love LSU with all my heart. But if, you know, it came down to it, and it was LSU and somebody else, and it was $200K from whoever, and LSU was like, I don't know what we got for you. I mean. And, like, I was in a position to where it's like, all right, I want to take care of my family. Like, my mom needs her bills paid. Like, I don't want my mom working. So, yeah, I'm going to take the other deal and go where the money is. And you see it now in NIL. Like, you've seen it already. Denver Harris.
Yeah. I mean, but also it's not, you know, always about, you know, giving them money and then they just don't know what to do with it. If you give me money at 18 years old, I'm blowing it. You know, because you don't know. You've played football your whole life. You don't have time to have a job. You know, you're playing football nonstop, even in the off season. You're getting workouts in. You're, you know, doing all these recruiting visits, stuff like that. Football players don't have time to have a job. So, and then before, you're not making money in college. You don't know the value of a dollar.
And they have to, like, pay taxes and everything. Like that. Like, they have to learn how to pay taxes. Like, they have to learn.
They
all
get
of
W-2s.
Right.
They get all that.
And you're learning all of this at 18 years old, which is semi, like, good for them, because in the future they'll have to learn it anyway. But, like, learning it earlier is better. But
I just feel like
it's just not structured the right way.
The magnitude of money that they're getting, it's like, yeah, of course you want to take care of your family. You want to do this. You want to do that. But if you don't learn how to invest that money, if you don't learn how to manage it properly and know what you really need to take care of now, like, you don't need a new car every 2 weeks. Like, you know, like, there's some things that, like, I think need to be taught, which I hope they are. I know LSU prides themselves on teaching their student athletes about taxes and financial aid, like, just a bunch of different financial literacy stuff that they need to learn. But I still think that's absolutely insane that you're giving a 16-year-old $800,000 just because he's good at football.
But that's just $800 up front. Like
That exactly.
That's not even the $8 million on the back end, or the 7 point whatever million on the back end of that. You know what I'm saying? Like he's 16 right now. Whenever he gets to Tennessee, like that's spread over 4 years, I would guess.
Yeah, and you think about women's sports. Yeah, girls get NIL deals. We had gymnasts come into Jordy's show a few weeks ago talk about their NIL deals. Women's basketball gets NIL deals, so does softball, track, whatever. They're not getting $8 million. They're not getting as much as a Kayshawn, or they're not getting as much as a Sharif, or a Trey Morgan, which I think is unfortunate. People don't see women's sports the same way they do everything else, which is how it's been for so long. I mean, the WNBA hasn't been around nearly as long as the NBA. I mean, it just hasn't. And I think there just needs to be more recognition of that why are they not getting paid more than $200,000?
Mm-hmm.
That's like, some of these players I'm guessing are getting $40,000 a year, $50,000 a year. That's
insane.
That's nothing to live off of. To live comfortably, that's nothing.
Crazy.
Then after that, you got to rely on endorsements.
Well, that's what majority of WNBA players do. They just have like a lot of endorsements. Like Diana Taurasi, I think she's sponsored by Nike, and like she did the Space Jam movie. Like she's like really like more of like
her own personal
right.
And they also
brand.
have to play
like,
overseas though. That's how they get their money.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get more money playing overseas.
So they get to play like
women get to play here
and
overseas. A lot of them go to like Spain,
Italy.
Is that why Brittany Griner got free her for real?
Brittany Griner makes most of her money out of the country.
Wow.
Overseas.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
You ever seen Love and Basketball?
Thank you for that. Yeah, I have seen Love and Basketball.
Monica had to go to Spain.
Yeah,
she went to
did.
Make her money and then came back and played for Sparks.
One of the best movies.
Go with it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But I think it showed like she had to work twice as hard in order to make it.
That's true.
But yeah.
Top 5 sports movies.
Well,
I don't think about it. Like
Remember the Titans.
Coach Carter.
Coach Carter. I was just
I
going
was
to
gonna
say.
say
Coach
Coach
Carter
Carter.
definitely like number 1 for me right now.
Remember the Titans. Coach
I like Glory Road.
Basketball.
Um,
Glory Road's good.
Hardball.
No, it's the one. Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Oh yeah. He got game.
He
got game. That's
yeah.
a good one.
Yeah. Okay.
Joanna Man.
Oh wow.
The documentary of Aaron Hernandez.
Oh my God.
Bro, chill out.
The documentary of OJ.
Chill. Have y'all seen the movie though? The OJ? It was like a limited
the
series.
Netflix?
The
Yeah.
FX series.
I loved it. I watched it like
was good.
20,000 times.
Wait, are you talking about the one with Cuba Gooding?
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the one. Yeah, that
Even
one
though
was
this is
super
in
good.
sports,
Huh?
the Ted Bundy tapes on Netflix is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
The one with
Oh, yeah.
Zac Efron?
That one's good, but the tapes
Oh,
are
I
way
haven't
better.
seen the tapes. I've seen the one with Zac Efron. I like that one.
You seem like you would watch that type of stuff.
I'm watching Making
Very
a Murderer right
interesting.
now on Netflix, and that's really interesting.
Uh-oh.
Bro.
This
I'm
guy was
scared.
wrongly accused and convicted of like rape and spent 18 years in prison, and then came out that he was wrongly convicted with like DNA evidence. He was out for 2 years, and then he got arrested again and accused of killing somebody, like murdering and mutilating her, and they found her car in his yard. And then he's in jail, and now they're like trying to get him out again, saying he's innocent.
Bro, like these documentaries, they like the stuff that goes on, like the stuff that went on, just be so crazy.
Yes.
True crime documentaries
Yes,
are like my
like,
weakness.
Y'all seen the
Nuts.
one? Y'all seen the one where it's the man who is a IVF doctor?
Yes.
Our father. I
Father.
watched that last
If you
night.
haven't watched
It was so
he
good.
okay. Basically, he was an IVF doctor, which is a person who
Right.
y'all know.
Insemination,
Who,
yeah.
So
He's a fertility doctor.
fertility doctor, and he was injecting his
Own sperm.
his own sperm, and matching it with other women, and the fathers and the other people were thinking that they were.
It was either sperm donors or it was the father, like the actual husband's
Yeah.
sample.
And he they were like, he basically is now responsible for like having hundreds of kids in this city, and that everybody like, you don't, like, me and you could be brothers and wouldn't know it because you thought one way that this was your dad, and then I've grown up thinking one way that this was my dad, and then they're like 30, 40 years old walking around the city.
And they
not
all
knowing.
live in within a 25-mile
Some
radius
dated.
of each other.
Wait.
No, they didn't date.
Dated.
No, one of them.
Oh,
I thought that it
somebody
did
else
say that
No.
you doesn't know.
It's like, well, I hope I'm like, this girl was like, I hope I'm not walking down the street and like anybody I see I could possibly be related to. And they were like, I hope that like I've never dated someone that
That's
like
That's
yeah,
my
yeah.
sibling. Yeah.
And like he had no
It's
remorse
crazy.
at all. He was like
Yeah.
a part of this like religion that was like a cult that said like you have to have as many children as humanly possible.
Hey, my man was trying to procreate. Don't.
It's-
I ain't
they
hating.
didn't-
I ain't
they
look.
took
I
him-
ain't hating. I don't knock. I don't
They
knock
tried-
nobody else.
They tried taking him like to trial or whatever.
It's not illegal.
It's not.
Even still to
You
this
would
day.
think that's
To
like a
the-
malpractice.
Even still to
Wait,
this
it's
day
not
right
illegal.
now. It's
So
it's
it's
not.
not. So if you're
It
a
is not
doctor and
illegal.
it's not illegal to inject your own
It
sperm
is not
into
illegal.
women. Wow.
He would.
And
he
they
would-
were trying to
Wow.
figure out how to like classify it as technically like rape or something. Like
That
sexual
is.
assault.
That's what it is. That's what it
Damn
is.
near rape, assault, all of that. But like,
Because
I
you're
guess
not. These women are not giving you consent to inject your sperm into them. Like that's essentially rape. And the other biggest thing is like he would put the women in the room or whatever to get undressed, whatever. He would go in his office and do his thing and come back and inject, and they'd be like, he's still like on this high or whatever. I don't know, but it was, you'd think it's rape, or you would think it'd be like a malpractice lawsuit. Because no one ever said you could do that.
Yeah, that definitely would be the lawsuit they should have went for,
And he
malpractice
had-
instead of rape.
He had no remorse at all.
I mean, my man said shit.
No
I was
remorse.
just trying to have them babies. He loved the kids. Didn't take care of none of them. Terrible dad.
I think by the end of the movie there was like 60 something of them, but like they haven't found everyone.
60
yet.
kids is insane.
At first it was like there was no more than 10, and then they had a meeting with him. He was like, okay, there's no more than 15, and then there's like 60.
All right, so like just think about being him. All right, you just in your in your little doctor's office doing your thing, and you're just like, damn, I think I could make like a few of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, maybe like a couple. I'm gonna do it. Like he
Trying to
started.
clone
He
yourself?
probably like started off with like 5. He was like, all right, I got 5 kids out there, but I don't know 'em. And then, like the 5, like they grew up. I was like, damn, my kid's kind of cute. So he just started multiplying. Now he got 10.
Well, what
and then
happened?
he went to 20. And he
His
was like, damn, now I got 60 kids. Like, fuck.
he was.
I ain't
he
taking
was
care of
in
none
the-
of them.
He was in the military, and like he had a friend or whatever, and his friend's wife, and he did it to his friend's wife. Like he inseminated her with his sperm. She had twins from that pregnancy.
Yeah, he went fed.
And then they never knew. Ooh, shit. They never knew about it. And then one of the twins grew up, and that was her doctor. He was examining all of her.
Bruh.
That's so disturbing.
So like, did he inject her with one of his little seeds?
I can't remember.
Nah, if he
I don't
did
think
that to
so.
his own daughter, he is like a sick person.
Well, yeah.
But I mean, he's sick anyway. Cause like, I mean, who is just trying to, like, who really like that's low key narcissistic too. It's like,
Yeah.
you want this many versions of yourself out there, just like roaming, and you don't know nothing about this person. You just, all right, that was my sperm. Like, okay.
The first girl that figured it out, she like the news contacted her and wanted to do a story or whatever. He called her and he was like, you can't tell anybody about this. You can't tell him it was me. Like, da 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 da. I've been married for 57 years. This is gonna ruin my marriage. And she's like, you ruined my life. Like, F your marriage. Like, you ruined my life.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
See, if I did that, I would ride around town and be like, shit, I spermed on for her, spermed on for him. That's me right
That's
there, too.
mine.
That's out of my nuts. That's me. That's me. That's me. Oh, look, that's me, too. You know, yep. Hey, baby. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
What are you saying?
No, I mean, you own it. You got to own it. Once you do it, you better own it. He didn't even own it. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
own
did
it.
it. He didn't even own it. He was just like, fuck it. Fuck them kids. It's crazy.
It'd be like that.
You do.
That's the show.
All right. Do y'all have anything else to say? Do we have anything in the chat?
No.
All right. Well, that'll conclude another edition of Clout Demons. I'm Bree. We had Jamil, TJ, Ron, and Stu. We'll be back next Sunday, hopefully a little earlier, more on time of our normal schedule.
Yeah.
I blame Stewie.
We'll let
for
the
that.
women
Always.
coordinate this time.
Yeah, we don't trust men anymore. Me and Jamil are coordinating everything now. So, yeah. So that's another edition of Cloud Demons. Jordy Culotta's on tomorrow from 7 to 9 on the Jordy Culotta Show, and we'll see you guys next Sunday.
Mic'd up from 11-1 also.
Mic'd up 11-1.
Jay Johnson probably coming on. Yeah, little
Again?
serious sweep. Yeah, he got that sweep. He got to come on.
Got to.
You know.
All right, they'll recap all of that tomorrow, 7-9, then 11-1. We'll see y'all later.
Peace.